Hello, hello, hello. Hey, y'all. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Hey, AJ. Hey, Cherie. Hey, Lovin' Aries. Hey, Alora. Hey, all of y'all. Y'all can hear me, right? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Ooh, look at this comment. Good evening, CARICOM beauty. Well, thanks for that. Okay, y'all can hear me. Y'all, I just got home from work not too long ago, logged on to Twitter, X, or whatever the hell y'all call it now. And what is going on? What is happening? What is happening? Y'all, please somebody explain to me what is happening because I'm struggling to catch up with all the drama. I did not see a lot of it. I'm not sure what is going on. So I need you all to explain to me how this all started and why Body Gang seems to be imploding right now. If anybody knows how this started, feel free to come up. Let me drop a link. Hold on. I am putting the link in the chat. So if anybody can explain how this started and educate me, because I am lost right now. Tiffany is saying, "What drama, girl? Where have you been?" So it seems I'm just trying to give a rundown of the little that I gathered from being on Twitter in the past couple minutes or so. I'm seeing people dragging Cardi B, her blocking her fans. I'm seeing on blogs they're posting stuff that apparently she tweeted and deleted, telling people to go die, saying that she wants to pull a bullet in her head. Like, what is going on? What started all of this? If anybody knows how this began, here's the link. Come explain to me. I'm so lost right now. So Nini says Cardi showed a snippet. What a snippet, I think that is. BG said it was trash, which it was. So she was telling them to unalive themselves. Well, that's what I gather, but I thought there had to be more to it than that because it's not the first time that her fans have criticized her stuff. So I'm like, this is an extreme reaction for something like that. I thought it was more than just that because I'm seeing something. I don't know if y'all know this account on Twitter called Baby. He's been one of her, like, I would say, biggest fans and supporters. I followed him. I haven't seen him like active in a while, but all of a sudden I'm seeing people blocking him, people saying, he's been trash talking. I'm like, I've never seen that from him. So I'm like, maybe you all can fill me in on what that part of it is about. I'm just like, I'm in shock right now. Um, Miss Catherine says, I didn't even know there was drama. Listen, it's all I'm seeing down my Twitter feed. I'm seeing her fans like die-hard supporters that I know. I've seen, them supporting her for a really long time, dragging people on her behalf. I've seen some of these accounts like, being really like some of the more faithful accounts that are always supporting her, always promoting her stuff, always, like encouraging her and stuff. And all of a sudden she's blocking them. They're going off. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Cleopatra. Tiffany says, let me see if Lovely T posted anything. I didn't even check. I got home from work. I logged on to Twitter and I'm like, what the hell? And is it and? or A&B, and says, "My gosh, I love Cardi, but how can someone be caught in drama all the damn time?" Yeah, like it's tiring at this point. I logged on, I saw all this drama, and I'm like, didn't she say just a few weeks ago that she was getting off social media, having somebody, run her accounts and stuff, and that's been going well? I feel like for the past few weeks, she's been getting a lot of positive attention. Like, people have been, she's been doing a lot of appearances and interviews that's been receiving a lot of praise. And then there's Offset's album. Everybody's talking so positively about it. And it's like things were actually going well for a change. And then this came out of left field. Nini says Davy was kikiing in a group chat and someone sent it to Cardi and she accused him of being a hater, which is not true. Does anybody have that, like a screenshot of what he was saying or something? Because I find it so hard to believe. I've followed him like back in the day. And to me, he's been like one of her most faithful supporters, always advocating for her, always like, defending her and shit. So it's kind of surprising to see him, of all people, caught up in this. I need to see what started this. What exactly did he say? Ahmad says, "Welcome back." Every time I come on here for a random live, people go, "Welcome back, Camille." Like if I'm back. I'm not back, okay? I am just popping in to see if anybody knows what this drama is all about. I saw this. Aisha B says they called her Mexican. I'm like, that isn't something new. People have been saying that, using that as a drag for a really long time. So it has to be more than that. It can't just be somebody called her Mexican and she just went off on this whole rant. Like, it has to be more than that. Maybe it's like the straw that broke the camel's back or something, because it can't just be this. Maybe it's like this was the thing that sent her over the edge on top of everything else, because I can't see this one simple thing. She gets so much hate. She gets people dragging her on a daily basis. I mean, this woman has a whole fan base against her, trying to take her down on a daily basis. So somebody insulting her is nothing new. I don't see why this particular comment would have set her off like this. Someone said she was lazy. Again, I've seen her, be called worse things than that. Tab Black says the Skims ad. What about it? Like, okay, I don't understand this part. What about it became a problem? Hey, Lenice. Exactly, says Baby is so supportive. From what I know about him, he has been. So I don't know if something else happened behind the scenes. Listen. Nini says she was mad that BG told her Offset needs his own fans because she's always forcing him down their throats, promoting Offset's album more than him, knowing damn well he wouldn't do the same if it was her album. I don't know if this is true though. That's her husband. I don't have a problem with her promoting his album. That's her man. Like, y'all wouldn't do that for your man if you were like the biggest star. I don't have a problem with her promoting his album. I don't see the problem with that. To me, it's like she can't win, because people are saying she's promoting his album instead of focusing on her own music. But if she was not promoting his album, then y'all would turn that around and say, okay, well, there's probably problems in their marriage or blah, blah, blah. How come she's not supporting her own husband? So it's either way she would get bashed. Hey, nice material. Amari says this isn't the first time this has happened. Yup. Like, I feel like this happens once every couple months where Cardi B just curses out her fans and the cycle starts over again all the time. And, it'll calm down and then she'll be back and she'll be all, I love my fans, blah, blah, blah. It'll be good for another couple of months, and then a couple months down the road, it's going to be drama again. It never ends. Oh, okay. She said, when you said she has a lot going on positive, I added the Skims promo. Yeah. Yeah, she's had so many, and this is what frustrates me with her, right? It is exhausting being a Cardi B fan, to be quite honest. It's exhausting because she gets like so much love, so much support. There are people riding for her daily. There are people defending her in every comment section. And she picks out the few negative ones to respond to, and then that sort of like it makes it bigger. Because if she didn't respond to those people, this would not be a topic. People hate on her every day. Nobody cares. It's when she responds that it just takes on a different kind of, it just takes on a life of its own after. And that's what frustrates me, because it's like you have people showing you love constantly. People literally like taking time out of their day to defend you when they see like you're being unfairly dragged and stuff. And you don't pay attention to those people. You don't, like, you don't, I don't want to say appreciate, but that's the word that's coming to my mind. She doesn't seem to appreciate it, but she always picks out the negative stuff to highlight. That's crazy to me. And this is another thing too. Like, a lot of people are saying that person that made that Mexican comment, they were her fan. And I'm like, no fan of anybody is going to make a comment like that. How do they know that's a real fan? Because sometimes you have Bobs hiding behind body gang pages just to cause drama like this. She does, I agree, but I mean, that's all part of the territory. Like it isn't something new that should surprise her at this point. She's been dealing with this for years. Boss Lady says, I think the pressure with this new album coming, the gob attacks, Trasha K case, Jason Lee hating ass, it's too much. I don't know. I can imagine, because at the end of the day, yes, people, she's a celebrity, and we say, okay, well, maybe she shouldn't respond to everything. But at the same time, she's human, so I kind of get that too. But I mean, some of the things she says is really disturbing. Aisha says, no matter what she does, the fans aren't satisfied. You're so right. If she didn't push Offset's album, they would have had a lot to say. Exactly. She's damned if she do, damned if she don't. Nini says, Camille, what do you think about her possibly doing a podcast? You know what? I always used to feel like she'd be really good at a talk show. I would be so here for that. But after this drama that I'm seeing today, maybe that's not a good idea, because she would end up saying things, controversial things, to get herself dragged, to get people against her. Maybe a podcast isn't the best idea. So yeah, long story short, I don't think I don't think that's something she should do, but that's just my opinion. She is very entertaining, like if she kept it to like current topics. And but then again, people find a way to find a fault in every single thing this woman does, everything she says. So doing a podcast, they would just be picking apart whatever she says, spinning it, and it's going to cause more harm than good. So maybe no, maybe that's not a good idea. This is true. Amari says some of the BG is not real fans. Like, some of them talk very reckless. Just something I've noticed. Yeah, I have seen that too. Like, a lot of people feel very entitled. Okay, so we have opinions, right? We're viewing this from the outside. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know her personally. All we can do is comment on what we see happening publicly, which is, oftentimes not the full story. But I've seen a lot of fans that feel like very entitled in that, okay, they would say Cardi B needs to do this, she needs to do that. And then when she does something different, they're mad about it. Like, why she didn't take their advice. And I'm like, this is a grown woman. She can do whatever the hell she wants. But they take it so personally. So like I've seen people saying, um, she needs to release more pop music because that is what is more like it gets a better response than some of the rap stuff that she's been doing. And it's like, and then not only that, I see, like some of the collaborations that she's done recently, people are calling them kayas. They don't want her to work with these people. And it's like they feel their advice, if she doesn't take their advice, they're turning against her. And I'm like, y'all feel y'all control this woman's life. Y'all can tell her what to do. And if she doesn't do what y'all want her to do, you're no longer a fan. You're not supporting her anymore. You start hating on her. And I'm like, they really feel like she's this kind of puppet. Y'all, it's crazy. Nicole says she should focus on the positive aspects. I agree. I mean, I know it's hard to ignore some of the things, especially when people are blatantly lying on you. You feel like you have to defend yourself. So I get that part of it, but it's like it sort of makes, her fans, her real fans who are really just here to support her, we want to see her succeeding. It sort of makes us feel like, damn, well, we don't matter because we're here showing you support, we're here showing you love, we're here streaming and buying and promoting, and that never gets the kind of attention that she gives to the people who are sending her hate. So it is frustrating. Naturalian says fake BG doing what fake BG do. They troll her to make it seem like her fans don't like her. When she played the snippet on station, had her fans like the song. Girl, I don't know. I feel like a lot of her fans are only fans because of her her stats and her accolades and accomplishments and stuff. They want to be able to use that as a drag. So they will say stuff like, haha, that's why we have 5 number ones. We have how much of a diamond records and stuff, and they use that as a drag to other fan bases. So now that it's like her recent music hasn't been that successful, they haven't had recent achievements to use as a drag. And I feel like that is what is causing a lot of this. They want her they want her to get all these number ones. They want her to have a Grammy, to win more Grammys and stuff, only because they want to use it as a drag. It's not because they want to see her accomplish anything. A lot of her fans are really just fans. Like they hopped on a bandwagon. They really don't support her for real. Yep. Aisha is making all the points. She says she's clearly feeling the pressure of having to deliver new music and it not meeting everyone's expectations. And that's the thing too. It's like her debut era was just so like outstanding. This woman broke so many records and like accomplished things that people before her never did. So now she has the pressure of a sophomore album and people are expecting it to live up to her debut album. And I feel like that is probably, weighing heavy on her. Like she set a standard that is probably too high for even herself to duplicate. Like she probably is thinking, okay, if she can't achieve that same kind of success that Invasion of Privacy had, she's a failure or she's flopping. And I'm just like, personally, I don't care. I just want music. I just want to see like my favorite artist winning. I want to have stuff to support, and it's like I get more drama than music. That's the frustrating part about it. There's fans that are fans for drama. They like dragging people and stuff like that, but there are fans who are just here for music. There are fans who are really just inspired by her story and her come up, and we want to see her elevate to the highest levels because of where she came from. It kind of like, I don't know, it sounds cliche, it sounds corny, but it's like when you see somebody come from the lowest and make it to that level, it's inspirational. It's like, wow, if she could do it, I can too. Like whatever I'm going through in my life, I could overcome that because look at where somebody like her came from and she's been able to make it this far. It's really, really inspirational to me. Miss Goodson says, I know they were on Offset streaming live on Stationhead supporting his album. Meanwhile, allegedly, Mob Radio was on live on Stationhead talking about their stream. It may have been fake body trolls. Who gives a F about Mob Radio? Like, all she does it is hate. Once you go to her live, you already know what you're going to get. So I don't know why people care what she says anymore. Exactly says they were her fan. They just aren't a cupcake. They don't sugarcoat everything like Body Updates does. Now, I see this thing about Cupcake BG and Edgy BG. You cannot be so called cupcake without being disrespectful and hateful. I feel like you're not like fans shouldn't be robots who just be like, okay, support everything, never criticize anything, whatever you do, they have to support. That's not fans. That's like minions. That's not realistic to have people just support every single thing you do. So I feel like it should be okay. It is okay to have constructive criticism. That particular fan with the Mexican comment and whatever else, that wasn't being edgy. That was being flat out disrespectful and hateful. So I don't know. Calling somebody a lazy Mexican. What was the other one? They were criticizing her accent or something like that. I can't remember the comment, but it was very, very nasty. So I don't know. That's not constructive criticism to me. That is just being hateful. Hey, adjusting my crown. Listen, I know you're mad at me. So I am just going to apologize in advance, okay? I've tried with the blog, the Female Rap Report blog. I've been like doing articles for the site and stuff, and it just became a little too overwhelming. I have to be honest. Like I have a full day of work, and then I have kids I have to come home to and cook for and help with their homework and shit. And at the same time, it's like the other people involved in the blog are waiting on me to send updates and send stories. And I'm like, I just don't have time during the day to sit and focus on everything that's going on in female rap. I can't do it. I tried for a couple of weeks and it became like, wow, this thing is consuming my life. I don't know how people do it. To operate a blog like that, you have to have no life. I'm sorry, you have to have no job, you have to have no kids. You can't be like pursuing an education. You can't do anything outside of that because things happen so quickly. In the couple of weeks that I've been trying, it's like I would log on to Twitter to see what's going on, have to check every blog to see what I missed, and it's like it takes up too much time during my day, and I have an actual job to do. I have actual deadlines to meet, and it just became like, okay, Camille, maybe this was not a good idea. I don't think I can do this, so I quit, and I feel really bad about it because the other people involved in it, like there's one girl who does the graphics and stuff. She does all the editing. She's really, really good at that. She built the website from scratch on her own, and I feel like I let her down by just backing out of it. But it's like it was too much. It really was. And even the Tasha K documentary, I know I promised, that and all became a little too much because I had done a video um a few weeks ago. I can't remember what the topic was. Not the last video, the one before that. And that took me like 6 hours to edit. Now imagine trying to pull together everything that happened in a lawsuit that began in 2018 to 2023 to make a proper documentary, because I don't want to do it halfway. I don't want to just, like, give basics of what happened. I really wanted to go in depth and break everything down from beginning to end, and just sourcing the clips was hell. So I started, and because everything is deleted off Tasha K's channel, I didn't save all of them going back years. So having to find just the clips to make sure, okay, I'm illustrating everything perfectly, because I really, really don't want to do it halfway. Going back, looking for some of these clips, looking for some of things that I remember happened, tweets that she made, posts on Instagram that are really crucial to telling the story properly, and I couldn't find them because everything has been deleted. How I found some of them was from other YouTubers who would have done videos during the whole drama while it was happening. They were reporting on it and doing videos, and they had some of those clips within their videos. So now imagine me, I'm looking for one particular clip, and I have to go through all these YouTubers' videos looking for that one clip. And by the time I find that one clip, 4 or 5 hours passed. And then I'm like, okay, on to the next clip, trying to find that next clip. And I was like, okay, this is too much. It's too much. So even though I'm like, I have a deep interest in it, and I really, really, really wanted to be able to tell this thing in a proper, in-depth way, it's like, it's maybe promising to have it done in a couple weeks was too ambitious, because that ain't happening, okay? So even though I'm still interested in doing it, I can't commit to a particular timeline, because putting all that information together, sourcing all those clips, sourcing everything. I'm not even talking about the recording and editing at this point. I'm talking about just finding the information. Is like, it's hell. It's very time consuming. So yeah, I didn't expect it to be so hard just to find the clips. And that's what I've been confronted with. And it's just been very frustrating for me. So yeah, the last time I was on here and I promised to do it, I said it would happen. I would do it within a couple of weeks, at least the first part. I was going to do it in 3 parts, like the beginning with all the stammery stuff to break down like how it all started. And then the second part would have been the actual lawsuit. And then the last part would have been the aftermath of the lawsuit, with the I ain't got it and Cardi B trying to get her money and all of that. So I really properly planned out a 3-part documentary, and it just like, it became too much. And I have a life. I can't spend hours daily trying to do this thing. So with the blog, I am no longer involved in that. However, I would still like to be able to do the documentary, but if I do it on my own, it's not going to be as professional looking and well, edited and looking all glittery and professional, because I'm not an editor. I don't know how to use, video editing software and stuff like that. It was the girl who's doing all that stuff on the blog itself. She was the person doing that. And because I pulled out of the blog, I feel like it's really unfair to ask her to still help with the editing and all of that for free, because that takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and I just don't feel like it's fair to ask her to keep doing it. So that's where we are with that. I know you're gonna hate me for saying that, but I really tried. I really, really did. Exactly says Bungles had such a large budget and it's not doing well, and I think she's stressed and taking it out on BG. Now, what is your definition of not doing well? Because I see people enjoying it. I see people all over TikTok doing their little dances. The song is big. The song is well received. It just isn't charting well. So I feel like in order for certain people to consider a song a hit, it has to be top 10 on Billboard, top 5. Sometimes in Cardi B's case, you feel like nothing less than a number 1 is going to cut it. I feel like the song is doing well. but it's not doing well on the charts, and that is what people look at. And I feel like Cardi B herself judges her own success by if her stuff is doing well on Billboard charts. Tiffany says these fake pages are the reason why Elon is charging those who create new profiles. I saw something about this where he's saying like people have to pay $1 to be on Twitter. Is that only applies to people who create new accounts, or that's for existing users? Because I'm telling y'all, if that is implemented for people who are already on Twitter, then it is to hell with Twitter for me. I will delete my account and leave. I'm not paying to use Twitter. Sharita says, what did I miss? Girl, you're going to have to rewind because you missed a lot. Love King says, I think she needs a counselor or therapist to talk through something she's thinking and how to deal with being attacked and criticized. I hope she's not in a functioning depression. She does come across like she is dealing with depression. And to be quite honest, who's not? Like, we all are in some form. So imagine somebody who is constantly being attacked by millions of people. It's not a stretch to believe that she is dealing with some kind of depression. So, yeah. I don't know why she comes on social media and it's like she seeks out these negative comments. That can't be helping. Hey, Erica. Aisha says, I'm surprised she's lasted this long. Who is this referring to? Are we talking about Cardi B still here? We're surprised she's lasted this long. Hey, Bougie Bobby. Every time I see Bobby in my comments, I get very defensive, ready to cuss somebody out, okay? Because I'm thinking it's a Bob in here trying to be like difficult. So, yeah. Boss Lady says, I'm a ride or die Cardi fan. I don't care. I love her personality, drive, and story. To be quite honest, I don't know. I'm thinking of, I don't want to say like withdrawing my support for her. I am a fan of her music first and foremost, and I don't care for all the drama. And it's like to be a fan of hers, it's exhausting. We barely get music, but every day it's a new drama. So at this point, it's like I did not become a fan for all of this. So it's kind of like maybe it's really time to just hang up my bodyguard card and move on, because it's like it's exhausting. Nini says, love Cardi down, but I'm scared. I'm really scared for CB2. The sound she likes is really outdated and I can barely understand, and she sounds like she needs to spit. I think that's just the accent though. She does have like a kind of like, she sounds a bit like, she's when she's rapping, she sounds like she has something in her mouth, like she's chewing gum. But that's just the accent. I'm sure people find I sound weird. I can't change that. So it's not, I don't know. I feel like people want more poppy kind of music from her, and she's just been doing a lot of rappy rap stuff. Hey, Chief Keish. Lord, I have sinus problems, right? I tell y'all that every time I come live. So when y'all hear me sniffling, y'all don't accuse me of doing coke. I literally have sinus problems. Poplock says, I think the problem is Cardi B wants to just make music fun, happy, and for everyone. But what her fans and body gang and hip hop wants is Cardi B to start talking her shit again. We want her. I don't even care for her to talk any shit. I just want to, like, her music to me was something different when she came out. Like she makes like, for lack of a better word, like ratchet music that you could just turn up to and just twerk and it's fun music. I don't really care for her like doing music talking about ups and like I don't really care. Like I'll support it, but I don't really care for it. I like the fun music. I like the like I'm trying to think of a good example of a song that she's done that is more my kind of my kind of thing. I'm thinking. I can't think of anything recent. I really can't think of anything recent. A lot of her recent music I was not really a big fan of. Um, Surprisingly, when I first heard bongos, I didn't like it. I was like, yeah, no. But it grew on me, and now that's like my go-to song. That's on my playlist. So I don't know. I don't know what the problem is with it. I really like that one, but I hated it at first. I have to be honest. It took a while to grow on me. Um, I liked a lot of her recent stuff. Let me don't say I didn't like. I liked Put It on the Floor Again. I loved it Tomorrow too. I loved her verse in Point Me Too. I didn't like the other girl's verse, but I loved her verse. Um, that snippet that she released recently, I love that. I would love to hear the whole song, not the one that caused all this drama. The one before that, where she was in this red outfit, this red dress, and she released a snippet. Uh, what was the name of that one? Trophies. I think she captioned it. So I do like a lot of her music, but I kind of miss the kind of crossover pop rap sounds too. Like she hasn't done that in a while. Stuff like let me see if I can think of one. Like hmm, the ones that she did with Bruno Mars, South of the Border, Girls Like You, stuff like that. Like I miss that kind of sound from her too. Aisha says, I don't think we take into consideration how much hate Cardi gets. She does get a lot. Imagine what we don't see, the miscellaneous DMs and how many people at her with negativity throughout the day. Listen, if I was in her position, as soon as I see somebody tag me in hate, as soon as they message me with hate, I would just be blocking. I don't care if it's a million of them, I would block them every single time I see them. Instead of responding to it and giving life to it, just block and move on. Keep it says, I wonder if Doja Cat's album got the girls second thinking their albums. I have to say, this one was surprising to me for real. I really did expect Doja Cat's album to do a lot better than it did, because she had a number one. She had all this controversy. It was like she had all this promotion with these blood covered mannequins popping up all over. Like she went all out, and it underperformed. But you have to give her props that it was a completely solo album, because I feel like a lot of people rely on bigger features to do numbers, and she was just like, you know what, I'm going to do this on my own. I don't need nobody. If it fails, if it succeeds, it's me by myself. I kind of respect that. Like, everybody's chasing big features. Everybody wants to hop on a song with whoever is the hottest person right now. And Doja Cat, like, she was just like, you know what? I'm doing it on my own. I love that. This is a good point. This whole Jason Lee stuff, I did a video on that. Now, we don't know what their relationship is like. Maybe he's a great friend behind the scenes, so we could only judge on what we are seeing publicly, but she clearly has this relationship with him for a reason. We don't know what her reasons are, but it's clearly for some reason. He clearly has some sort of value to her, and we don't understand it. I don't understand it, but we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Popluck says to be the rap queen she is. I don't like this comment already because to me it's like she has never wanted that. She's never wanted to be called any queen of rap or anything like that. This girl just wanted to make music and make money, and people put that on her, and now they expect her to live up to it. So Popluck says to be the rap queen she is, we wanted to sneak this to be that girl, call Nicki out, be that hurt girl, but Cardi B don't want to play with Nicki anymore. She wants to be done with Nicki, but she has to. I agree with that part of it though, because it's like that is a big part of her whole career, like this whole beef with Nicki. So even though it seems like she wants to move on from it, she wants to be done with it and move on with her life, Nicki has decided, you know what? No, I am never letting you let this go. Nicki is on the attack, and there's nothing Cardi B can do about it. So, yeah, that's the part I agree with. And people kind of want her to like engage in it. And she's like, she's a mother. She's grown. She's grown up. She has so many other things going for her. She has other things to focus on. I really think she's done with this whole beef thing. But Nicki's not ready to start it up again. So it is what it is. Hey, Shando. Adjusting My Crown says you promised us the documentary. Camille, I told everyone to look out for it. I know, right? But I just spent like a good 5 minutes explaining all of that. So hopefully I will scroll down and see another comment from you that is a little more understanding of my situation. Because if y'all want a half-assed documentary with just like pictures on the screen, I can do that. But if y'all want a proper, in-depth documentary that properly tells the story, it is not something that could happen overnight. And this is a good point too. So Leslie says, I'm confused what happened. I listened to Station Head with Cardi and Offset. I heard the snippet. It was so small I couldn't tell what kind of song it was going to be. Sounded all right, and she seems okay. I listened to that snippet and I was like, I could barely hear anything. So I don't even understand how people could judge this song and be like, oh, it's trash, because you can barely hear it. You can barely hear anything. So it's like, I don't know. Leslie said she was upset at first because of mob radio, I believe. Then she teared up a little bit, but I didn't see anybody. She said that she was blocking people, but she said she was just playing, so I don't. Well, I was on Twitter right before I came on here, and I'm seeing a lot of her fans posting screenshots of them being blocked by her. So apparently she has blocked a lot of people. What's up? I'm live. No, you do this all the time. You realize, right? Y'all, I had I had a little argument with my kid when I got home from work, and I sent him to his room, and he just came because y'all know this game Monopoly Go. I love that game. It's like my stress reliever. I'm obsessed with it. So he downloaded it on his phone so that he could send me like gifts and stuff in the game. So he just came after I sent him to his room and yelled at him a little bit. He just came and brought his phone for me to play Monopoly, trying to get back on my good side. He does that all the time. Every single time he is punished for something, he comes and tries to bribe me with Monopoly Go. I have the weirdest children. Anyway, Hey Shante, of course I remember you. The question is, do you remember me? I have been so inconsistent on here, barely come on. I am shocked when people actually come in here to listen to me talk, okay? Because I'm like, do these people even remember I exist? Um, Boss Lady says your day ones will help. Put out a call to action of what you're looking for, and we will help you. Listen, it's a lot. Remember, I was here from the beginning of this thing, even before. I feel like a lot of people and a lot of the bloggers making videos and stuff about this, they started like during the process. Some of them started after the lawsuit because that's when it blew up. Some of them didn't even know when everything before the lawsuit was going on. It was only when the lawsuit happened and it became like big news all over, everybody started talking about it. Some of them started like somewhere along the line with the like after the Starmery interview when Cardi B had actually responded to Tasha K when she sent like the what do they call these things? The thing that she said she wiped her ass with. What's that? There's a name for it. I forgot. But anyway, yeah, some of them started there, but very, very few people actually started from the very first live that Starmery did on her page that started all of this. Very few people followed the whole fallout with Lovely T. Very few people remember like the Linus of Judah and her pajama party and everything that went down there. Very few people were around for like a lot of that stuff. So I wanted to include all of that in the documentary just to tell everything from beginning to end. And a lot of that stuff is very, very hard to find right now. Like, you'll remember Sweet Ma, her TKO documentary. Like, it's so much stuff that I wanted to include. It was going to be like a 3-part thing, and each part would have been like an hour and a half long. And it's like, it's a lot to track down. It's stuff that I remember happening. And thankfully, I made a lot of videos on it myself. So my own videos have been like a source to go back to find some of this stuff. But even that is very time consuming because then I have to go back through all my videos trying to find the clips and stuff that I would have included in those videos. It's a lot of stuff. And then after I find the stuff, I have to have like a script, like a just like a guideline of telling the story. So that takes time to write and prepare. And then there's the actual recording of it and the actual editing of the thing itself. Yo, it's not something that could be done in a week or two. Yeah, she understands. I'm so glad I scrolled down and saw this comment. Because I thought you, of all people, you were going to hate me because you were the one like advocating for this the most. So I really wanted to do it particularly for you. If nobody else watched, I wanted adjusting my crown to see it. That's it. I didn't care if anybody else saw it. As long as she saw it, I was good. But it's taking a lot of time. And another thing is that I don't make money on YouTube. So it's kind of hard for me to justify spending so much time and energy and effort to do something that is not going to profit me in any way. Like I'm not being paid for this. So it's like I have a job, I have part-time studies. I'm trying to do my certificate in graphic designing. I have that going on. I have children, which is like a full-time job in itself. So it's like at a point, I'm like, why am I spending so much energy doing something that I am not going to benefit from in any way, shape, or form? So it's like I have to slow down. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying it's not going to be, I'm not going to consume myself doing it to the point where I'm like burnt out and frustrated trying to rush doing it to get it out within a couple of weeks when I have nothing to benefit from it at the end of the day. Um, Leslie says, I really don't care what happened. To be totally honest, Cardi's my girl and she's always going to be my girl. I don't care who she cursed out. She's cursed out Body Gang before, so why is it a big deal? To me, it's a big deal because she is cursing out people who have been day one diehard fans who I personally have not seen do anything disrespectful. Yeah, I've seen them criticize stuff. When they don't like something, they will say, okay, I don't like this. This just doesn't do it for me. And I feel like you should be allowed to say that. Being a fan of somebody isn't just, kissing their ass and just agreeing with everything they do. You should be allowed to say, okay, this is not for me. This, I don't like this. You should be allowed to say that. Otherwise, you're not a fan. You're like you're in a cult. If you're afraid to critique the person that you're supporting, you're in a cult. Shante says, I'm 26 minutes late. What are you talking about? We're talking about Body Gang imploding and all the drama that's going on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen, it's a lot. So you're going to have to rewind if you missed all of that. It's been drama, non-stop drama. Aisha says, just take your time. The good thing about YouTube is the freedom. Viral Room says, Cardi B is disgusting. To be honest, we over waiting for music. I don't know. I'm a bit over it myself, but I still want to see her win. I'm still going to support. I just don't think I'm going to be as invested as I was before. Because I was invested in a lot of this shit. Okay. I'm just like, yeah, maybe not anymore. And that's kind of hard for me to say because if you all know me, I am a die-hard day one fan. Long before she was ever making music, long before love and hip hop, like I was literally a day one fan. So it's kind of hard for me to like throw my hands in the air now and be like, you know what, whatever. I'm over it. But I feel like that's where I'm getting to at this point. But I don't have any like. There's a lot of her fans who are so upset. They're like, they might as well become a Bob. I'm not there. I don't think I'll ever be there, okay? That is never going to happen. Viral Room said Bongos was the wrong song to have Megan on. I kind of agree with this. Nobody's listening to Spanish. Rap fans want rap music from Cardi. I kind of agree with this too because this song, you can tell she had a lot of faith in it. She loved it, which is important too as an artist. You have to like what you're putting out. So you could kind of tell that she really believed in this song. So in that sense, fine. But I feel like experimenting with a new sound, maybe that was not the best thing to have Megan on. Especially following up something like WAP. Everybody was expecting it. Okay, they're teaming up again. It's going to do WAP kind of numbers. People thought it would have had the same kind of impact as WAP, which is kind of ridiculous too because WAP was something else. Okay, WAP was untoppable even by herself. So people really did have a lot of unrealistic expectations for this song. That's one. But then the song itself, it was like, I don't know. I like it now. It grew on me, but at the beginning it was just like, no. And you know what's funny is that I see a lot of people doing like, you know how they do those mashups and they put like a different beat and stuff. Y'all know the song, I don't know if I have the name of it correct, something like a G6. Somebody took the beat from that and put it on bongos. And that is truly when I say, I could say I fell in love with that song. The beat for that song fit bongos so perfectly. I had to re-listen, like, maybe the song isn't that bad. Maybe it's just the beat that people, weren't accustomed to. It was something different. Sometimes too, it's like people on the internet, celebrities, the artists, they don't want to listen. But sometimes people on the internet, we are the consumers. We are the ones listening to the music, we have to like it too. Yes, it's important for the artist to like what they are putting out, but they are not putting it out for themselves. So we have to like it too. And I feel like in that sense, the artist actually needs to listen to a certain degree to what their fans are saying. Because when they do these mashups, you would swear that these people have like they're experienced producers or engineers or something, because they can actually take the song and make it sound so much better. And it's like, maybe they should listen to their fans sometimes. Bougie Bobby says Twitter will be closed up by tomorrow if he starts charging for it. Yep. I'm really just hanging on to Twitter by a thread as it is. It has become so toxic. It's like you don't enjoy being on it as much anymore. And then you're going to start charging for it. Well, you can just take Twitter and shove it, okay? At that point, I will quit. We will have to start standing Facebook. I'm not an Instagram person either. I don't like that with every post you have to post a photo or something. I don't like that. I just like to post comments and write something. I don't like having to have a visual. So I'm not an Instagram person. I hate that shit. I love Facebook. I love Facebook. Even though they say Facebook is for old people, well, I'm old as hell because I love Facebook. Facebook is my social media of choice. She says, "Oh no, I'm a nice body. Please me, baby." That was my jam back in the day. I miss that kind of music from her. And you know what I miss too? Like collaborations with I don't want to say, let me don't say that because it will come across the wrong way. But some of the collaborations she's been doing lately is like she's the bigger artist. She's doing these people a favor. I want to see collabs where she's collaborating with other big artists like herself or bigger than her. I want to see those kinds of things. Like we haven't gotten much of that from her. Like I would kill. I know it's probably never going to happen, but I would kill for a Rihanna collab right now. Um, like who can I think of? A Beyonce collab. Uh, who can I think of that is a bigger artist that would just eat? I would take a Lady Gaga collab. I would take who do I like? I'm tired of like all these rap girl collabs because at a point it kind of feels manipulative. Like they are just using her for a come up. Some of them maybe she is using for like because Nicki's doing a lot of collaborations with new rap girls too. So maybe Cardi B feels like she has to as well to kind of get support from the female rap industry. It just sometimes it doesn't come across genuine. It comes across like they're all playing this game. So I'm like, I don't want to see any more female rap collabs. I want to see some pop artist collabs. I want to see some big artist collabs. But I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like some new rap girls who are now coming out who don't even have the kind of accomplishments and impact that she has, they are getting these huge collaborations like Ice Spice with Taylor Swift of all people, Sexy Red and Drake, um who else Lato had a Lil Wayne collab. And it's like I want to see Cardi B work with these kinds of people, but then again, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. She gets so much hate. We don't know if people are talking them out of working with her, what is going on. But it's just kind of disheartening to see that these huge artists, they are jumping on tracks with these new girls who are not like, they haven't put in the work yet, and they are getting these kinds of features, and Cardi B can. So it's really kind of frustrating to see. Beauty, ethics, and adventure said, I love how you can. I think that's supposed to be how. I love how you can talk about Cardi B and not get offensive and hostile about her. You're very respectful about her boundaries and her feelings. Listen, the woman is human, okay? So even though like I don't agree with certain things, I'm not gonna get on here and drag. But at the same time, it's like you still feel like you have to walk on eggshells. Like, I don't know if she listens to my stuff, if she comes because she searches stuff about herself. What if she comes across my video and she's like, that hating ass bitch? So you don't want anything to come across the wrong way. But at the same time, it's like I'm a fan. I'm not in a cult. So I'm I'm allowed to have opinions. Adjusting my crown says she needs more music like her verse in Tomorrow too. People love when she addresses the beef with Nicki. But her verse in Tomorrow too, isn't that like Put It on the Floor Again was similar? Um, Point Me To was similar. Like we've gotten other verses like that from her. It's like I'm tired of that shit now. I want bops, okay? I want a nice pop crossover kind of thing. Like everything can't be about beef and throwing shade and taking shots. Like that's exhausting. That's exhausting. I want fun music as well. Like the this kind of music is fine, but kind of like give us a mix to it. Can't be this all the time. And to me, it's like if you're a real fan, why do you want constant beef? Every song she has to throw shade at Nicki. Like that's what Nicki does. And to me, it's like it's tiring. This is a good point too. Like some of the songs, when she chooses to release them, it's really odd. Like I'm not talking about like summertime. I'm talking about like how do I explain this? You have other big artists releasing at the same time. Artists with bigger fan bases, more impact, that kind of thing. Why would you release at the same time with them? Even Nicki doesn't do that. Nicki pushed back her whole album because she didn't want to release at the same time with Taylor Swift. So it's not above Cardi B to like work on the timing of putting out some of these things. It's crazy to think, okay, well, I'm going to release at the same time with Bad Bunny. I'm going to release at the same time with Taylor Swift or Drake or one of these people. It's like strategize a little better than that. Ooh, tacky tacky. This was my jam too. This was my jam. I don't know what the hell they were saying, but I was singing it, okay? I'm really far back in these comments, so let me scroll down a little bit. Um, Roxy, I do not disagree with this. I don't disagree at all. She says, I was a fan of hers, but I'm now like, whatever. She has turned off a lot of her fans with her antics and the fact that she do not know how to control her anger. I totally get where you are coming from with this. It is frustrating to be supporting somebody and, you know, just wanting to see them succeed. And it's like they keep sabotaging themselves. And it's like, when you see her giving so much energy to people who are hating on her, it's like, wow, wow. Like when you're a real supporter and you're supporting and she doesn't seem to notice, but she notices every single hate comment. It's crazy. This is true as well, but I feel like there's something going on behind the scenes that is the reason for this. I feel like Because look at how Nicki reacted when Kanye did that song with Cardi B, Hot Shit. And she went on a rant at some concert she was at. I saw a clip where she was like shading Kanye, talking about, I think they had asked her to perform Monster, which is the song that she had with Kanye, and she's like, she's all monstered out, like she's trying to say she's done with that song, she's done with Kanye. And the only thing that happened around that time was Kanye collabing with Cardi B. So clearly she had a problem with that. So I feel like there is something going on behind the scenes where Nicki is influencing these people not to work with Cardi B, because every time somebody works with her, they get a lot of hate. They get bashed. So it's like people are afraid to work with her because they don't want to, get on Nicki's wrong side or something. Or something is happening that we don't know about. But then I see people, there are big artists who they do praise her and like shout her out and talk about wanting to work with her, like J. Cole. And still that has not happened. I would love to see a J. Cole and Cardi B collab. And that hasn't happened. I don't know why. But J. Cole did a song with Bia. Bia, of all people, like it's crazy to me. He's openly talked about wanting to work with Cardi B. He has openly supported her and defended her. And a collab just hasn't happened. Yeah, this will probably never happen. Although I have to give props to Lil Wayne because he worked with Lato. I think Lato had said at some point she hinted that Nicki had a problem with Lil Wayne working with her. She said something like somebody overheard a conversation with Lil Wayne and Nicki, like, well, she didn't call Nicki by name, but everybody knew who she was talking about because that was the only big artist around that time that Lato had worked with. And she said something like somebody overheard a conversation, like Lil Wayne had somebody, we assume it's Nicki, on speakerphone, and the person was asking him, why did you give that little ass girl a feature? And she had tweeted about it, and she was like, the person didn't even know that she heard about it, and she knew that happened. So it seems like Nicki does try to influence these people that she's cool with not to work with the people who she has problems with. So you have to kind of give Lil Wayne props that he still went ahead and worked with Lato, even though Nicki, who's like his good friend or whatever, had a problem with it. And now I see there's something coming up that he's performing, and he has Lato as a guest. So he's still continuing to support her even after Lato and Nicki had that whole falling out. Lil Wayne is like, he's like, leave me out of that shit. I will work with who I want to work with. I will support who I want to support. And you have to kind of give him respect for that. But a Cardi B, Lil Wayne collab is probably never going to happen. That might be a little too far for him. I agree with this. Like, I like the rap, but I miss the pop songs too. Like, give us a mixture of both. They are, but Kanye collaborated with, now if Kanye had collaborated with Cardi B like at the height of his popularity, I would be more impressed. He collaborated with her at a point where he's like all over the news for his mental situation and like he's in all this controversy and stuff. So it's like at that point collaborating with her wasn't as impressive to me. Hey, dirty gas station girl. What a name. Dirty gas station girl. Ooh, I love this too. I loved her part in Jealousy. Actually, I like the whole song. I like that song. It didn't do as well, but that's also on my playlist. I don't care. That went number one in my house, okay? This is a point. I told y'all, Aisha is making all the points today. She says, funny thing is, the same people who claimed Cardi didn't have any talent and couldn't rap are the same ones supporting Ice Spice and Sexy Red. Cardi had 2 EPs before her album and a reality TV career. Like, we literally watched this woman come up and evolve. You can trace her beginnings back to Instagram and Vine and stuff. Like, we watched her build herself slowly for years. You can't say the same thing about Ice Spice and Sexy Red. It's like they just blew up overnight. And that is, to me, that is how people who hate Cardi B act like that's how her career started. And it's not. Ice Spice and Sexy Red have not put in half the effort that Cardi B has. And what's funny is a couple days ago, I saw an interview with Ice Spice where she's talking about not really caring about being lyrical. She doesn't consider herself a lyricist. She just wants to make fun music and stuff like that, right? And there's nothing wrong with that because there is something for everybody. Not everybody's going to be a lyricist. Nobody goes to the club and listen to music to try to break down bars and figure out, what is a metaphor and what is a double entendre and all these kind of stuff. Nobody cares. We just want to dance and have fun. And I feel like there's people who make that kind of dance and have fun music, and there's people who make lyrical music. And to me, one is not better than the other. There's a market for both. Like J. Cole makes a lot of lyrical music, and he just got his first #1. After how many years? This man nobody can say that this man is not talented. Nobody can say that this man, isn't like among the best rappers that there are. But he hasn't had a #1 until now. And it took a collaboration with Drake for him to get it. That's to tell you how little, I don't want to say little because having a #1 is a big deal. But at the same time, it's like not having it should not be such a big deal. Because they are talented ass people. There are songs that are hit songs. And I always use this as an example. This song that Selena Gomez did with Rima. What's the name of that song? Ugh, I'm so terrible at names. Y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? That song that Selena Gomez did with Rima was a hit. That song was everywhere. You couldn't escape it. And it never went #1. And then there are songs that did go #1 that you don't hear anywhere and it has no impact, but it went #1. So to me, it's like using going #1 as a measurement of what is a hit and what's a successful song. It is not a very good measurement. But anyway, back to this Ice Spice and Sexy Red thing. Like, I feel I'm not a fan of either of them. I honestly, to God, cannot stand Sexy Red's music. It annoys me. Her music annoys me. But at the same time, it's like she deserves to have a career. She deserves to have a spot just like anybody else because there's people out there who do like her music. If you don't like it, just keep it moving. There's something for everybody, and that is what I really, really like about this particular era of female rap. You're not having one thing forced down your throat like it was before. You have a variety, you have options, there's something for everybody, and I feel like everybody deserves a space. But at the same time, it's kind of unfair to compare these new people coming out and just achieving overnight success to Cardi B when we saw Cardi B come up. We saw everything that she put in to get to where she is that these girls don't have to do. And mind you, it was harder for her because she was a stripper. She was, looked down upon. She was like shunned. Everybody looked at her like she was just some, like she's just some nobody stripper trying to make it in music. Nobody believed in her. And she still got to where she is. So to me, it's like she had it harder than a lot of these girls out here. And because of, it's frustrating because even though she went through, she had to fight for a lot of stuff just to be recognized as a serious artist. And still some people don't recognize her as that. She had to fight for that kind of recognition. And because of that kind of fight is why it's so much easier for these girls to come in now. And she doesn't get recognition for that. But let's just be real, okay? People like to say this new wave of female rap that's happening is because Nicki opened doors and blah blah blah. That's not true. If you're being honest with yourself, that's not true because Nicki was like the only mainstream successful female rapper for so long. Why weren't the doors opening while she was like running the game alone? It wasn't opening for 10 plus years. All this happened, this shift happened 2017 to now. If this was because of Nicki, it would have happened sooner. Anyway, Jinx says, yes, Camila. Camila. Oh my goodness. UW says Cardi hasn't put in the work either. That's why she's able to get on with the new girls and they take off. But really, they are on the same level. Her name is just bigger. No, I can't agree with this at all. Because, like I said, we watched her come up. We watched her come up. We saw everything that she put in. This woman was paying, like everybody likes to say, like, she hasn't been on a world tour, blah, blah, blah. This woman had her first tour. It wasn't a world tour. It wasn't this big thing, but it was something that she funded out of pocket. And if you look back at the videos from that, those songs, like her mixtape songs and stuff, people were chanting word for word. That was before she had a label, before she had, a reality show platform, any of that. People were just following her from social media. And she built herself that way. Cardi B is self-made. I don't care what you all say, but you have to be honest. This woman put in work to get to where she is. Now, new girls, they can just post a video on Instagram, on TikTok or whatever. It goes viral and overnight they have labels offering them deals and stuff. It wasn't like that for Cardi B. It wasn't. And you have to be honest. She did absolutely put in the work. So I don't understand how people say this. I just don't get it. That has to be like a level of hating in a way, like you just dislike her. So you want to discredit like the actual work that she put in to get to where she is. I agree with this particular part of this comment where you said, I think she's scared to flop. I agree with that. I just feel like there's so much expectations on her that, and she knows if she doesn't meet those expectations, people are going to drag her, people are going to clown her, but it's like, who cares? They're going to drag her and clown her either way. So at what point do you just say, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just going to put out my music and let it do whatever it does. They're going to clown her either way. They're going to criticize her either way. They're going to drag her either way. If she puts out her album and it does exceptionally well, you know what they're going to say? It was payola. She paid for it. She bought this. She bought that. That's what they're going to say. So either way, she can't win. So why give so much life to people who are hating on you? Marshizi says, calm down. Am I not calm? Like, I'm calm. Bitch, I'm calm. No, but seriously, I'm not. I don't know what this comment is about. I'm not uncalm. Anyway, yes. Calm the. Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought she was telling me to calm down. I'm sorry. Okay, I now understand this comment. I take back everything that I just said. Okay, I'm sorry. That was the name of the song. Calm down. S. Thomas says you dub must just heard of Cardi B yesterday because ain't no way you believe that. Yep. A lot of people like they weren't around for all of that. They just think Cardi B blew up overnight because she threw a shoe at Nicki Minaj. By the time that beef happened, Cardi B already had a number one. She already had, um, I'm not sure, did she already have a Grammy when that beef happened? I don't think so. My timeline might be off, but she had already made a name for herself. That beef is not what made her. That beef is probably what got um more attention on her. And to me, it's like that beef didn't it hurt her more than it benefited her. Because it suddenly turned millions of people against her, opened her up to extreme hate. I don't think it benefited her at all. So to say that the beef is what made her is just kind of ridiculous to me. Maisha says, "What is Maisha doing in this picture? A split? Are you twerking or something?" She looks like she's twerking on the floor in that picture. Um, she says, "Do you know the crazy part is I'm confused why people never give K Michelle and Keisha Cole the same flight because those two went through TV to get the star power also." I think it's just the Nicki Minaj factor. Like Cardi B had the audacity to stand up for herself against somebody as big and powerful and influential as Nicki Minaj, and that is what it is. There's other people who came up from reality TV. Who can I think of? Or maybe it's that they just K Michelle and Keisha Cole are just not as big as Cardi B. I mean, Keisha Cole was big at a point, but I feel like Cardi B is like a she's like a household name, a brand. And as the people root for you when you're like the underdog and you're now coming up, they root for you. But when you get to the top, they start tearing you back down again. Cardi B got to the top. So maybe that is the difference. Like, because she's so up there, because she's so much bigger, it's just her turn to be torn down again. Mashizi says, after I typed it, I saw the comments would be read. I really thought you were telling me to calm down. I'm like, but I wasn't acting up. Okay, Michelle had it too. Nobody was paying attention to Keisha like that in real life. Really? To me, it's like the opposite. To me, Keisha was big, a lot bigger than K Michelle. Y'all, Keisha Cole has hits upon hits upon hits. She has classics. I can't think of any K Michelle song that is as big as anything Keisha Cole has put out. Like the only K Michelle song I know is I don't even know the name of it. I'm bad at names. Very special. Ooh, whoa. That song. What other song I know from her? I don't know much. That's the only song that comes to mind. I don't think K Michelle's career is comparable to Keisha Cole at all. But maybe I've just been under a rock. Maisha says, I'm not twerking, I'm doing a straddle on the floor. I'm a dancer. Okay. It looked like you were doing like a little booty pop in the corner there. Keisha and Kay were reality TV years apart. I don't know. I just don't know what to do anymore. So, y'all, let me know if y'all are like, because I know a lot of people found my channel because of me just being like a Cardi B fan. So I attracted a lot of other Cardi B fans. So I know a lot of y'all in here are Cardi B fans. Are y'all still like supporting her at the same level? Are y'all over it? Are y'all turned off by everything that's happened today? Like, how are y'all moving forward? Because to me, it's just kind of like it's exhausting. It's exhausting to be a fan. Hey, baby steps. You missed the entire thing. We were talking about all the drama that's going on, so you will have to rewind. I'm not going through that again. Sorry. And we were also talking about Maisha twerking on the floor. You missed that. Um, yeah. Pop Luck says I'm still 100 Team Cardi over Nicki. Listen, if I ever leave Team Cardi, I am going to Team Nobody because I will never be a Nicki fan. It's just never going to happen. Never, ever, ever. I see people saying, maybe they're just saying it to try to hurt Cardi B's feelings that they're going over to the other side. They're going to join Bob's and stuff like that. I'm like, that will never be me. I think I can, like pull back a bit from being such a diehard fan, but I will never be on that side. Sorry. Bougie says, forgive me if you have already commented on this, but have you been keeping up with the lawsuit between Cardi and Tasha K? Is Cardi going too hard? Going too hard what? If you ask me, she's not going hard enough, okay? Just about right? No. Listen, you see people who just started following this stuff, they might feel like, because I do see people making comments like she's attacking a black woman and like Tasha K doesn't deserve this over just some stupid comments she made. It was more than stupid comments. Like, we saw all this play out. We were warning her. I remember, making videos saying, like, you can't say, even before the defamation suit happened, I was like, how is it that Cardi B hasn't sued this woman for defamation yet? We were like, you can't say these things about people. And maybe she felt like, I feel like Tasha K felt like she was, too much of a nobody for Cardi B to even bother herself to sue her. So she was banking on that. She was banking on, other celebrities. They deal with stuff like this too, and they just ignore it. So I feel like Tasha K thought that would have been Cardi B's reaction too. And she kept going and going and going. And it's like she got so many chances to just stop. I don't think Cardi B even wanted it to reach this far. I remember, and this is another thing, just to highlight how difficult it is to make this documentary, because even those clips I can't find. You'll remember when Tasha K had said something like Cardi B had sent her something trying to settle. Like, even before this thing went to trial, Cardi B had tried to settle, and Tasha K was laughing at it, and she was like, Cardi B's scared. She's going to take all her money. Tasha K was so confident she was going to win this lawsuit. And I needed all those kinds of clips just to make the documentary as thorough as possible. And I can't find those things anymore. They were on her backup channel, and she took down everything. Well, she had to take down everything. So it's really, really hard to find those clips. But that just goes to show, like, this woman tried. She tried everything to resolve this problem in a calm, civilized way before it got to court. She gave Tasha K every opportunity to stop. And Tasha K would just be taunting. And now that there's consequences for all of that, people expect us to feel sorry for her. This woman said some of the vilest shit. And now that, like, now you have to pay for all of that. We are supposed to feel sorry for you. We are supposed to feel sorry that you have children. Come on. No, there's consequences for your actions. And something, like, the people who are defending Tasha K and saying stuff like she has children, Cardi B is taking food out of her children's mouth, blah, blah, blah. Where were they when she was doing all this stuff that got her in this situation to begin with? And then I feel like if she had just, even after the lawsuit, even after the verdict and the judgment and all of that, she kept going. She still kind of like picks at Cardi B, picks at her, picks at her, picks at her constantly. So it's like, it's just motivating Cardi even more to say, well, you know what? No mercy. If she had just stopped and just been like, you know what? This has gone far enough. I apologize. I take responsibility. I feel like Cardi B wouldn't even be pursuing trying to get that money from her. But because she keeps doing it, even after the lawsuit, she's still going. It's like you have to make an example out of her at this point. She won't stop. So no, I don't feel like Cardi B is going too hard at all. Cardi B spent money to pursue this lawsuit. She needs to at least be reimbursed for her legal fees and stuff. Maisha says, honestly, I'm still a fan. I just don't pay attention too much to the drama that she gets into. I feel like that's where I'm at. I'm just going to be here for the music. When she drops music, I will listen. If I like it, I will support it. But at this point, I'm just like, you know what? This woman is rich, richer than I will ever be in my lifetime. She doesn't need me to defend her or speak anything like on her behalf or anything like that. So I'm just here for the music at this point. I just I don't have the energy for anything else. Sharita says Iggy opened what does. See, now I saw that comment and I just chose to scroll past it because it's just like it I don't even know where to begin with this one. I will just say this and leave it at that, okay? No white woman can open any door for anybody in female rap. I'm just going to say that. But I'm not getting into that. It's just a little, it's too much for me, okay? It's too much. Courtney says, I'm still a fan. I just want an album. Same. Yep, that's what we've been talking about. We talked about this earlier. Kiki says, are you letting people up? Sure. I did post the link earlier, but there were no takers, so I'm posting it again. So there's the link if anybody wants to come up. Bougie says, I wanted Cardi to go way harder than this. Yep. Yep. Same. I feel like she's going a little too soft on her, in my opinion. And I still feel, I don't care what anybody says, I still feel like Nicki has a lot to do with everything Tasha K did and was involved in. And I just feel like it's because y'all, Tasha K she can't help herself. It's only a matter of time before that comes out, before she tries to use whatever to drag Nicki. And it will come out eventually. You know that saying, what happens in the dark always comes to light. It'll come out. It will come out in good time. China says, I support Cardi and I hope she takes a mental break from the internet. Twitter is the devil. I agree. Like, I don't know what it is about Twitter in particular, but there's some like social media that you don't see all this negative shit. Like, I'm on Facebook constantly and I don't see all this negative shit. I'm not too much of an Instagram person, but even then you don't see all this negative shit on Instagram. You see like in comments on blogs and stuff, but if you're just like scrolling your news feed, you don't see all this shit. Maybe she needs to just like be on TikTok. TikTok is very positive. TikTok loves everything. So maybe she just needs to stay across on TikTok for a while. Twitter is a toxic wasteland of hate and miserableness and just people just going there to just like offload their frustration on other people. TikTok is just a cesspool. It is the toilet of social media. If you want to be happy, go to TikTok. If you want to be depressed, go to Twitter. Okay? Agreed. Jinx. I totally agree with this. Yep, I remember she said this. See, like stuff, like a lot of the stuff that happened leading up to this lawsuit only like exists in our memories. There's no evidence of it on the internet anymore. And to me, like making a documentary to break down all of this stuff, you have to have the evidence of it, or people will say you just made that up. People who weren't here for all of it, they will say you're a hater and you're just lying. So you have to have the clips to prove it. And that's why I was like so insistent on finding every clip, every tweet, every post, every video, everything, because I want to be able to back up what I said happened is what happened. Because you all know people are going to say I'm a hater, I'm lying on her. People who are just her fans who weren't here, around for everything. That's why it's so important to me to be thorough and find all of this stuff. And it's just so difficult to find it. um Baby Step says, I think she thought this lawsuit was going to make her a household name and make her millions. She really, really did. Y'all remember she would be on here talking about Cardi B is going to pay her. Listen, she was very confident. I remember when she came on my channel and I was like, girl, do you really think you're going to win this lawsuit? And she was so confident and cocky about it. And it's like, look where we are now. Yep. Why are people sympathizing with her because she's a mother and she didn't care about the position she was putting her own kids in when she was doing all of this? And so Cardi B isn't a mother too. Cardi B was a mother at that time when she was spreading saying the woman had herpes. And it's like you didn't have any sympathy for her kids, but we are supposed to have sympathy for yours. Listen, y'all, criminals have children. People commit, I mean, it's an extreme example, but people commit murders, people rape, people do all kinds of crimes, and they get sent to jail. So what, they don't have kids too? Should we feel sorry for their kids and spare them the consequences of their actions? Because to me, that's the same thing that's going on with Tasha K right now. Everybody's like, she has kids, she has kids. Okay, criminals have kids too. Should we not send them to jail? Should we not make them pay for what they did? She has to pay for what she did. She put herself in the situation. Oh, Kiki is up.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Are we talking about Tasha K or just in general about what happened last night?
Anything, if you want to talk about a totally different topic, it's up to you.
Oh no, no, no. I wanna stay on topic. Um, I just thought last night was can we curse? No. I just thought last night was a show, and I felt so bad for her last night, and I feel bad for Offset also, because this is supposed to be his album rollout, and for all this attention to go from him and his rollout to this is ridiculous. Um, hold on one second. Hold on. Um, as far as like, we need to start holding everybody accountable, including Cardi. What I didn't like some of the things she said last night, and she said things like this before. I am a fan of Cardi, but she has to stop bringing in all this dark energy. Someone needs to take her phone. I don't know why people haven't, and take over her social media until she gets, I think, therapy, or she learns that everything is not to be responded to. Can people hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Yeah. Like everything is not to be responded to. For you to wish dark thoughts on people, it's very, I don't want to go there, and I think very highly of her, and I know she was probably in a bad space because we have to think about where she came from, and but she has to realize where she's at now. Cardi is very blessed. She probably has more money than everybody in the chat put together. And it's not even about money. She has a wholesome family. She has two beautiful children around her that love her to death. She has so much good energy, and she has to focus on what is going around her, all that positive energy. And she keeps responding to these negative tweets. Like nobody had no business calling her a Mexican, and I think that hit home for her because that's not her nationality. And she has bloggers that sit here and use her nationality or her race against her anyways, and I know she hears that constantly, and I know it hurts her feelings, and for her to, but you have to learn how to, transfer those feelings and learn how to, like, you know react better to them. And that was like, I didn't like that part at all. I love the snippet that she put out. I think that her fear of putting out music needs to go away. You and that There is really nobody that is really topping the top 10 except for the likes of Drake and Nicki. But these people, she has to understand, these people have been in the game for 15 years. They have fans that are steadfast on them that are not leaving. She doesn't have that fan base yet. It's okay to drop music. It's okay to sit here and put taste test this and this out there. She just has to stop being so afraid to do what she wants to do. But I think Barty Yang and her fans or fans of hers have put that unrealistic charting on her. And it's sad, but it's there. Trouble, I don't mean to count your pockets, girl, but y'all, we ain't got Cardi B money.
I don't know anymore. I just like it's stressful, and when you start like having more um stress over supporting somebody than actual things to celebrate and support, maybe it's time to just move on. And that's where I'm at. I feel like I'm outgrowing this being a fan kind of thing.
Right. No, I'm gonna stay being a fan. I just want those dark moments to go away. I just want her to, like, stop with those dark moments because I would never wish the D word on anyone. I would never wish, and she has to realize you have a mom too. You have a family, and sometimes those karma and those dark words can come back on you, and it'll hit you before you even know it. And that's not relatable to me. The whole point was her being relatable to the people. That's why she was called the people's champ. But it's like she has to focus her energy. She already know, like, the industry is twisted, and these people online are twisted. I think most of these people on these stand accounts be children. You can't tell me these aren't children. Half the time they can't even spell. And you have people that is on the other fan base, I call them the op base. They're not gonna like you, period. I don't care what you do, I don't care what you put out, I don't care what you say, I don't care what you wear. They're not gonna like you, period. And half of these people have set up accounts under Barty Gang like they her fans, but they're not. So she has to, like, just stop it. Just stop it. Just get you a social media manager. You're not in that space anymore. I know you made
I'm live.
I know you made your money and your and everything off of social media. That's where you got your notoriety, but it's not there anymore.
Adjusting my crown is on, y'all. Let me hide because I know she's gonna be like, she's gonna rip into me.
You know what behooves me? First of all, no, seriously. First of all, and the only reason I'm bringing her up is because Cardi gets so much hate. That's because uh, Nicki fans are a cult, right? They're not fans, they're a cult. Okay, they're just like the Navy, they're just like Beehive, they're a cult. Okay, now let's not say one without the other. Yes, I missed like 30 minutes of Camille's live today, so I don't know what happened. I know something was said when she was online with Offset. I'm gonna have to, when this ends, immediately listen to what happened. However, I will admit that Cardi, she does spaz. I get that part, but let's go to the other side. If y'all calling that out, we got to call Nicki out too. This woman gets her fans to attack other people. Okay? This woman gets her fans to give her addresses, all this other stuff. Okay? And we all see it. And I don't think people call that out enough. I don't think that people call that out enough. So while we're talking about fan bases and, you know, yes, I do agree that Cardi should, she should love on her fan base a lot more, right? One person could definitely blow it for her because she has a temper, right? But we're not going to act like Nicki is not over here being evil, using her fan base to like attack people and say all these mean things and liking mean tweets about people. And come on, we're not going to act like she don't do that either. So yes, although Cardi needs to watch on how she speaks to her fan base, and I mean, we don't know the pressure this woman has on her. Also, you have mind you, when the Nicki and Cardi thing happened, like Camille said, it was so many people who instantly didn't like her, right? Like, look at me. Look at me. The minute Nicki came into the industry, I instantly didn't like her. Instantly. And so this is from the very beginning because I saw what she was doing to Kim. I grew up on Kim. So I saw what she was doing to Kim. I saw how she literally got the beginning of her fan base on Little Kim. Literally, she's like, oh, that's what she's doing. Oh, that's what they like. All right, I could do that too. And literally did a copy and paste. So I didn't like her. The same thing with 50 Cent. I didn't like the way he came into the industry. He came to the industry dissing all the rappers. Like he went below the belt, He was Tasha K before Tasha was Tasha K. So to this day, I don't like. So I get that part, but we can't ignore the fact that Nicki is over there being mean. And I agree with Camille that there have to be something going on behind the scenes that these big artists is like not wanting to mess with her. Come on, we all know that with Nicki, you have to pick a side. Cardi don't care about picking sides. She just want to make music. But we all know with Nicki, you have to pick a side. We don't like the amount of, I can't, mind you, if she's doing this stuff publicly and doing these little code words to her little cults to attack people, can you imagine what this woman is doing behind the scenes? Can you imagine what she's doing behind the scenes? I believe Remy when Remy said, she was trying to stop her bag and saying things like, if she's at the award show, I'm not coming. And things of that. So I absolutely believe because that's her character. That's her character. Nicki doesn't want her reign to end. And I really think that everybody's calling Cardi an industry plant because many girls came in that 10 years. But Cardi stuck. And she like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, how this can't be happening. Like, why is this going on so long? Why is this girl still here? But her, like, she expected her to be like all the other girls who came and left, and Cardi stayed, and she was a threat to her. So, oh yeah, I agree. Cardi has a lot, you know. But then again, this is like a family member that you like. Oh, you got to watch what you say around, you know, Aunt Pearl. You know how she get. That's kind of like Cardi. Not to defend her, but everybody knows how she gives it up. You know what I'm saying? For example, we already know she hood. Yeah, she see Nicki, she gonna approach Nicki. She don't care that it's Nicki. You talked about my kid. Yeah, I'm stepping to you, right? You, Nicki, you talk like you tough, but you was shivering in the corner. You talk like you tough, but you was shivering in the corner. And I don't believe I know I'm going off topic, but I don't believe that Ra Ali hit her. I don't. This lady was in the Wendy Williams show. I vividly remember. She was in the Wendy Williams show, and she said that didn't happen. They was too far apart. I believe that. I believe it was security. I believe that they wanted to get her out of there immediately. I don't think that Ra did that. I don't think Ra did that at all. But that's my two cents. That's all I have to say.
Hey, Camille, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm unofficially Cardi B's attorney for years on social media. And I basically feel like, you know, when you just have a difficult when you have a difficult client that just won't listen, that's Cardi B. She just
I agree.
allows
Are you all hearing her? I'm not hearing anything.
I'm not hearing her either. Are you still there? I'm thinking she having audio issues.
Yeah.
Hey Camille, girl, how are you?
Hey, Tony.
I'd like to offer my rebuttal to Mrs. Crown.
Okay.
I've been a long time Nicki fan, and I know I'm not from New York, so there's a whole lot of culture that I'm not privy to. But for you to say that Nicki came up by just trashing others is a total shot at her talent. We all know that she is a better rapper. She writes her own lyrics. And the reason that she stayed on top is because she talented, girl. Now, 50 Cent, I could care less about that man. But when you talk about Nicki and us fans being a cult, I take that very serious.
Okay. Um, respectfully. And I didn't say that Nikki came in here dissing everybody. I said 50 did. I said what she did was still Lil Kim's whole persona. She's like, oh, that's what they like? All right,
Well, you
I'll
did
turn into
say
her.
that she came in dissing Little Kim, and that's the reason that she kind of took off in the beginning. I recall you did say that.
But she did though, so I'm not seeing
Yeah, I don't,
who
yeah,
she
like
liked.
yeah, like I don't understand. It's not like I'm just saying stuff that's not true. She actually did that.
And let me
Yeah, but
ask you something,
my
Tony.
point, I'm sorry, go ahead, Camille.
Let me ask you something. You said, and I actually agree with you, even though I'm not a fan, I actually agree with you that Nikki is talented. She has achieved a lot because of her talent. However, what bothers me is that y'all will say the complete opposite about Cardi B. Y'all will try to like invalidate everything that this woman has accomplished by saying payola, she bought this, she slept her way to the top, whatever. So and then you made a point and you said Nikki writes her own music. So is it that only Nikki writes her own music and everybody who Nikki says doesn't write, you'll just run with it? Because that has been a narrative that she spreads about every single person she has problems with. She did it with Remy Ma, she did it with Iggy. Everybody she gets into it with, her go-to thing is they don't write, and you'll just run with it. So is it that in your mind, you all believe Nikki is the only person who knows how to write music?
I see your point, Camille, and no, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of talented female rappers out there that can write the music. What I was saying is that Nicki Minaj is one of the first trailblazers in the rap game. Now I know Lil Kim was a thing back then, and I'm not sure how old Mrs. Crown is, if she aging herself out, but I wasn't around. I was a little kid when Kim was singing,
You're
but
leaving out a lot of people.
I
You're
was just
leaving out
about to
Queen
say that. Hold on,
Latifah.
please let me interject. No, you
No, come
missing
on
Missy,
now.
MC
You're
Light,
leaving out like
Salt
40
and
years worth of
Pepper,
women.
Queen
You are
Latifah.
leaving out 40 years
Are
worth of
you
women. Come
kidding
on
me?
now.
You,
y'all
oh
Really?
my
talking
God.
about
I
Queen
Actually,
almost,
female
Latifah.
rap.
child.
Come on, girl. Queen Latifah ain't nothing but better than just putting on some movies. Y'all know she can't rap.
Are
You're
you
actually
Wow,
crazy?
bro.
You
arrogant.
gotta be
I'm
20
sorry, Camille. What?
something. You gotta be 4. Ain't no way you just said that. Ain't no
Exactly.
way you just
They
said that.
literally
Oh my
believe
gosh.
that female rap began and ended with Nicki, that she is the be all and end all, the alpha, the omega. Nothing came before, nothing came after. That's how they operate.
When I tell you I almost spit up my oxtails, this man gotta be
Girl,
crazy.
Miss Crown, I've been watching Queen Latifah movies for a long time. Y'all remember that
Before
movie?
movies, before
Before,
movies,
Hold
she was
on. Remember that
God,
movie
God.
where she found out that she had some sort of illness and she decided to sell everything and go to Europe for vacation because she had like a month to live.
Mm-hmm.
When I found out that it was not true, I was sad.
What? What sir,
What?
what are you talking? Sir, I'm not about to play with you.
What does he say when he
I'm
found
not
out that
about
the
to play.
movie wasn't true?
I'm not
yo.
about to play with him. I'm not about to play with him.
Because I was so much into the movie. I thought you. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding, you guys.
I'm not about to play with him.
You guys have a good day.
Tony,
Bye.
he's not serious, but at least he was polite and not rude and disrespectful
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, sorry, Camille. I got cut off earlier because the pizza guy came. But I was saying my issue with Cardi B right now is that she allows this to happen, especially anytime there's like a major song, whether it's Offset coming out with something or her being featured on a single. It's the same thing that happens, and she falls for it every time, and it drives me crazy because it is like, dude, why are you listening to these people? like you, like these same people, half of them, if they seen you in person, would kiss your tuchus. They would worship the ground you walk on. Because that's the reality. Most of these people, they're internet keyboard warriors, and then when you're in person, it's a totally different thing. Like this happened with that single that she came out with Lizzo. It happened with the single she came out with Normani. I mean, we could go on, and it's just like I really do think, like others have said, she needs a social media manager, even if it's just part time. Especially when she's at that point where she's ready to blow, and she's making, really concerning statements like she did today. Hand it over to a social media manager, and until you could calm down. She has the funds for it. She has the means to find ways to calm down. I don't know if she got to align her chakras or what, but she got to do something at this point. And
I will say this. Oh, sorry, Kat.
and also in conclusion, um, she does need to come out with something, but at the same time, people don't realize that artists like Sade don't come out of an album until it's like once every 10 years. I remember Brandy, it took like 4 or 5 years for her to come out with the next album. It is not completely out of, it's not uncommon for an artist to not come out. Look at Rihanna. So, I mean, if she really is working and perfecting her craft, then cool. If she really isn't ready to come out with an album, at this point, she just needs to state it.
Let me say this real quick. In Cardi B's defense, I think she got better. I know she spazzed. I'm not. Look, I can't defend her on that. I know she spazzed, but there was a time, okay, when Cardi first came out, when Cardi was in the news like once a week. This girl was spazzed for everything. I think she really calmed down. Now, do she occasionally spaz and go crazy? Yeah, but I don't think we give her enough credit for that. Like when she gave that thing, she was like, I'm trying to be better for my fans. I believe that because I see that. Like I said, there was a time when she was spaz all the time for every little thing. She was always going in on Twitter. And I notice now that on Situation, she just kind of, chill. Like let's look at the Megan Thee Stallion situation, right? The old Cardi back then would have said something like immediately. But when they was about to drop Bongos and she was on YouTube with Megan, she said like, look, just know I was fighting, behind the scenes. I was fighting for you. So I do think she got better. I do.
I'll agree that she got better. It's just everyone slips, and the problem is that because of how big of a celebrity she is, any slip up is going to be blown up, magnified, and that's the problem. That's
I
why I
agree.
feel like she really, if she ain't got a social media manager or get a few, I mean, I'm sure she could find volunteers at this point. But it is a legitimate title. It is a legitimate job role. My sister's been doing it for years for a Fortune 500 company, so it is a legitimate. She could find somebody and find somebody with experience at that, and just do that. Especially when she's about to get that hot headed, like, all right, social media manager, take over. Like that's it. Because also it's eventually going to affect her brand deal sooner or later. I also feel like in general, a number of these rappers, because we're also seeing this like spazzing out from Drake and Doja Cat. So I don't know if there's something going on behind the scenes with some of these rappers, but it seems like a lot of them have been extra stressed out this year. But that's just my thoughts on it.
Well, I don't know that it's all of the rappers. Juicy J said something the other day. Just rap is down 40% in sales. Just period, point blank. Even just looking all the way across the board. Um, Drake had 400,000 in streams, but only sold 10,000 physical copies. Like music is just, especially rap music, is just in a bad place. So I think that the internet one has a lot to do with it, and nobody is purchasing anymore because they don't have to. I can stream your music and I can talk crazy to you on social media. Yeah, you're gonna get some pushback from some celebrities because we used to not have that type of access. And part of Cardi's brand was coming to social media, airing out grievances, going back and forth with people she had issues with. So I've seen a lot of growth, but you also have to remember that that is the atmosphere that she came from and how she became known to a lot of us even before she started putting music out.
I saw somebody put the comment she wants to feel connected to her fans, like that's why she's on there, which is totally cool. But even with close friends or family, sometimes we need a break, and I think that Cardi needs to learn how to sometimes take that break from some of the fans because they can become too much.
So listen, Mr. Slur's speech is gone because I came up here just to read him real quick.
Me too, baby. Cleveland Brown was getting on my nerves. He sounded like Cleveland from the Family Guy.
Down. And I live in Nikki's skin. Who is
Just a
you?
fool.
Don't stop making fun of Tony, okay? He was a respectful Bob.
Oh, he was respectful, but don't be coming in here. Don't be little delusional either. We're not going to be delusional.
Yeah, I had as soon as he said Queen Latifah wasn't no rapper like that, I said, wait a minute, let me go ahead and hop up here because that's some foolishness.
Yeah, that was a bit too much. Like a, a lot of Bobs, they feel like to celebrate Nikki and to recognize like
No,
her achievements and stuff. They have to put down everybody else who came before her.
Right.
To
And
say
she loves
something
it.
like that about Queen Latifah is wild.
right.
Insane.
And that's the thing. I think that's with the majority of Barty gang. They're like, we sit here and we give Nikki her props. because she is a talented artist. I'll never say that lady is not talented. It's just personally, I do not like her personality. I don't like it.
Her personality,
Wait,
her
can
as a
I?
person, her fans suck the fun out of music. Like I really want to go. I was on Twitter earlier and they're like up in arms about somebody that gets a viral tweet. Baby, I can't shake my tail feather to no viral tweet. I don't care about nothing going on over here. Let that lady put out music and leave her alone.
Also, let me say real quick. I don't think that it was a big deal what rapper wrote what until Nicki was saying it. And then everybody made it a big deal. Oh, you don't write your raps. Oh, you got a machine behind you. That didn't happen until Cardi. That's number one. Number two, why these same people don't got the same heat for Beyonce? I'll wait.
It don't. It's not you.
I'll wait.
We can be here's so one. We can't compare Beyonce to a rapper, but nobody has that same smoke for Drake because she also let out the bag that Drake has gotten help from writers. That's her. Her ace boom coon. If we talking about rap, yeah, writing is important because that is a part of the art form. However, she's gotten help. Drake has gotten help. The only one that they rag on is Cardi, and I really want to, people to understand that if some of y'all got some help, you probably would have got number one records a lot sooner than you did. And understanding and staffing to your weakness is a benefit. If you know that this is not your strong suit, you still have something to say. There's nothing wrong with getting help. And there's the
I,
knock on Cardi because she admitted to yes, I've gotten help, but I don't believe that she don't write none of her music. Like that's just foolish.
I do believe that you could put Beyonce in that also. This is her internet. Let everybody say it. This is her internet. And she's the queen of all queens, right? Let everybody call it. So why is it okay for someone that's sold as a plus 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 artist to not write her music? And it's so like I don't understand that. Do I think Nicki writes all her music? Absolutely not. I don't think she write all her raps. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think she does that.
Because
Absolutely not. I don't.
because singing
She
isn't the
pays them well.
singing isn't the well for me singing isn't the same as rapping just like when Whitney Houston's some of her biggest songs are covers from other artists. I will always
Mhm.
love you. It's a Dolly Parton song. That's no longer Dolly Parton song because Whitney Houston sang it. It's not the same thing in rap. But like I said, I don't believe that Cardi does not write, but that's the only time that they bring it up is for Cardi because there's a lot of other male rappers who are
Mhm.
dominating the industry and tying Michael Jackson's records who have gotten exposed for not writing their music. Kanye himself has talked about how she doesn't write, but Kanye has also used the person that they claim writes all of Cardi's music to write some of his music, so that makes zero sense.
Yeah, but who
So
cares?
can I
Because
enter Camille?
to me, it's
Can you guys
like,
hear me?
who's talking?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's Aisha.
Okay.
I've been listening quietly. Sorry. I wanted to say one thing real quick. So I think that Cardi is being pigeonholed by the fear of failure. And I think that it has a literal death grip on her. And I completely understand and I empathize because it's like she's been hugely successful and that's still not enough. You see what I'm saying? So it's like she's been winning time and people still act like they don't see it. They still act like it isn't deserved. They still act she has accomplished more in her short career than some artists accomplish in a lifetime of being artists. And it's like you don't have to like her or dislike her. The fact is just, those are just facts, right? You can be a Nicki fan, you can be a Cardi fan, but I hate when people try to act like they don't agree or they don't see the numbers. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like she's pigeonholed by fear of failure because even her success is being used against her. It's like she cannot win. What is she supposed to do?
Ignore it all. Just do the best she can.
I just
She pushed
I just kind
Broncos
of feel
because
like
she she pushed bongos because she believed in bongos. It didn't go the way she wanted to go, as far as top 10 or whatever. But we got to stop saying that bongos flopped. It did 14. That's good.
I didn't think it was a flop either. I thought it did great, but I guess, but that's the thing. I feel like the pressure to meet her, the pressure to perform like she has in the past, people are
Hmm.
going to call this a failure because it didn't meet the standards of her previous albums or songs. It's not a failure by any means, in my opinion, but that's the point that I'm trying to make. It's like she's so afraid to fail. And I understand, because it's like she's been so successful and it's still not enough. They're calling her success failure. So what are they going
Mm.
to call it when she fails?
I don't think that's only a Cardi thing. I think that's most artists feel that way. I do.
I don't even know if that's more. But I definitely feel like she experiences it. She experiences it more than a lot of other artists.
On
And
a
I
greater
think
scale.
somebody's
I
point, right, on
agree.
a greater scale. And I think to somebody's point,
Hmm.
Drake is now in that era, right, where it's like his current body of work is not meeting the previous body of work's performance, right? It's still not terrible. He's an awesome artist. He's a world renowned artist, but some people are now considering him, a flop right now. And it's like, that's not a flop. His album is still doing well, in my opinion, but
Right.
it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Right. I agree.
That's all I have to say. I just think she's afraid to fail because she's been successful and people still call her success failure. So what's going to happen if she actually does have a flop? Like, they're never going to let her hear the end of it.
Hmm.
I just feel like all of this is orchestrated by Nicki in some way. Like there's
Hmm.
something going on behind the scenes that is like Cardi B was able to
Hmm.
come up and make it this far without bowing to Nicki in the way that all these other girls feel
Right.
like they have to do.
She was,
So they
she,
want to
right.
punish her for it.
Going against Nicki should have ended Cardi's career, and it didn't.
Facts.
And that's why she really mad. And they really should. She really should be like they really should be celebrating right now. Like I don't. All of that stuff that happened yesterday was a mess. Offset's album is doing really well. That's still her husband. She can celebrate her spouse for bringing income into the house. Like I'm confused by what all of that was. It's a mess.
Academic said something recently. He said that he had a conversation with Offset, and he told Offset. I mean, he had a conversation with Offset, and Offset told him, "Listen, I work and grind because my wife is Cardi B." And Academic said he respected him for that, and I do too. Like he doesn't want to be a slouch. Like his wife is probably, at the time when they got married, he's probably more, successful than his wife. Now his wife is probably more successful than him. So he grinds. So, because his wife is Cardi B. And I love that he has that motivation. And I really hope his album does well. I do. Because not only do the barbs come for Nicki, they come for anything attached to Nicki. And so if it don't go well, they're gonna go straight attack Offset. I don't think it affects Offset as much as it does Cardi, because he just kind of brushes it like whatever. But Cardi gonna flip. If she sees something in the comments, Cardi gonna flip for her man. For real.
Yeah, I think she gets entirely too much hate. I mean, I do agree that she should ignore the hate at this level in her career, but I feel like I could only imagine what it's like to be in her shoes. Like, some people on the internet get mad when somebody replied to a comment that they post, and they don't like what they got to say, and it's like it ruins their day. So could you imagine, like, getting the amount of hate that even on her birthday? That's what I was saying in the comments. On her birthday, she couldn't even have her birthday to herself. Her supposed friend sneak this in, dropping um trash on her on the radio. It's just like, this poor woman. I really, and here's my thing I get frustrated at. It's like, listen, don't don't try to come for me with what you think is some effed up stuff and then when it's my turn to retaliate, my version of effed up is worse than yours, and now I'm the bad person. Like that. Don't do me like that, please, because I'm definitely a below the belt fighter. So
Because you
I
could have just
totally
left me alone.
empathize. Right, exactly. So I totally empathize with Cardi. You do not get to come for me and then dictate how I come back for you. Because look, you're gonna go too far, and I'm gonna go overseas with it. And I don't. And that's just the type of person I am. So that's why I don't like confrontation. So I totally get it, and it like irritates me that people continue to try to disrespect her and playing her face. But when she comes for them, and then people want to draw the line, like, oh, you shouldn't have said that. Well, like, why do you think it's okay to talk trash to someone on the internet?
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, she's not the type of person that's going to, it's going to be about morals. She's a below the belt fighter. She's a hood girl from the Bronx. Like, she's going to come for your mama. She's going to come for your kids. And she's not going to feel no way about it. But would she have done it if you had not said anything to her? No.
But I do think that some barbers just do it to get a reaction out of Cardi.
That
Like,
too, I agree.
you know,
She's got to do better. I totally agree.
But it wasn't the bars. That's what started it. Her fans were upset at her because she was promoting her husband's album and they're wanting music from her, and that's what started all the melee.
Right. And which
wait, that's what happened?
my opinion, you're not really
Yes.
you're not a true fan.
I know you lying.
If
Wait a
you're
minute.
huge stuff
Wait a
like that.
minute.
Her fans out because they did a station head last night and they were
Mhm.
pushing his album because it just came out.
Right.
And they were answering questions. They were playing songs, answering questions. And before they had even came on, I guess somebody that was
Supposed to be a fan.
that has a Cardi follow had said something about that she was trying to trick her fans into streaming Offset's music, and we're fans of Cardi and not Offset. He needs to get his own fans,
Wow.
and that is why she snapped the way she did.
Wow. Yeah, that's horrible.
Okay, let me say
Come on.
this. Okay. Now that I got a scope of what happened, 'cause I had no idea what happened. Now that I got a scope of what happened, she shouldn't have said anything. That was Offset's moment. That's your husband's moment. I wouldn't have said anything.
I agree.
I wouldn't have said anything. That's his moment. So yeah, I'm just mad she said something taken away from what he got going on. You know what I'm saying? This ain't your song. This ain't your live. I mean,
Answer all of this, yeah.
yeah. Under like if this was her song or whatever, I'm like whatever. That's Cardi. But in this instance, no, I don't think she should have did that because you're taking away from his moment. For real, she shouldn't have said anything.
I agree. She gave it life and it grew legs after that. Because
Wow, I didn't know that's what happened.
She probably should have just ignored it and just kept it pushing, and nobody would be talking about it right now.
Y'all, you know what's kind of sad is that somebody made the point earlier that when Cardi B and Offset first got together, he was the bigger artist.
Yep.
He pretty much helped her in the beginning of her career. And now that she's the bigger one and she's trying to like return that favor and help him, her fans have a problem with it. That's crazy to me.
Insane. Mm-hmm.
Because he is a major part of helping boost her career in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even if she was not promoting his album and stuff, y'all listen to the album. That album, there's just probably a couple songs that I don't like. The album is fire. Y'all.
Is it, Camille?
The Offset album is
really good.
It's better than Drake's
I'm gonna
album.
let you guys go.
There's
Bye,
nothing
y'all.
about Drake's album that makes me want to listen again. There are quite a
You the
few
second
songs on
person I heard
Offset's
say that,
album.
Camille. You the second person I heard say that.
It is.
That is better than Drake's.
Sounds like everything he's been putting out, he's just repeating over and over. Offset's album sounds fresh. It doesn't sound like anything he's done before. And there's a couple songs on it that is just like you have to keep going back and listening.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything on there. He's singing. I was like, is Offset singing? Is that Keith set?
I like Worth It. That's the one with Don Toliver. I don't even know who Don Toliver is. Never heard of that guy before, but that song is stuck in my head. And I love the one with Chloe. I love the one with Lato. Like there's some bangers on there. So it's not like if
but just
Cardi
everything.
B's promoting some subpar album just because it's her husband. His
and
album
not
is
even and not even
literally
just and not even just because it's her husband. We have to think about everything too that Offset's been through with the group, the issues he's had with QC, losing Takeoff, and then for him to go on the run that he's had with the promotion, and then for his album to come out and actually be pretty good. And then for her fans to have this type of response, I see people saying that they were talking about the snippet. The snippet stuff happened later. She didn't play the snippet until the end of the show. They were already going back and forth before the snippet he had even been played. Like I don't. She's not upset about people critiquing the music. I've seen people say stuff about her music and she not get upset. She's upset when you attack her family and all of that other stuff. It was the Offset stuff that set her off. You can't convince me no different. I was in the station head.
yeah. I don't know. I just feel like
Wow.
for the ship to end, what has to happen is Cardi B has to publicly accept Nicki Minaj as her Lord and Savior, bow down to her. Like that is what has to happen, or this hate is never going to stop. It's like the more successful she becomes the more hate she will get, the more Nicki and her fans will attack her, and the only way it will end is if she sort of like gives in and bows down to Nicki and say, you know what, you win.
Absolutely not.
But I think Cardi did everything. She's like, yo, I don't care about being queen. I don't care about that stuff. I just want to. She said everything to like try to dispel everything between her and Nicki. But man, it's the fans, man. It's the fans. It really
And
is. It's the
it's not
fans.
even just the fans, but it's also Nikki too. The person that
It's
said that
definitely Nicki.
the person that said that she beefed her way through the she absolutely did. She came in the industry dissing Kim. When Iggy Azalea got hot, she was dissing her. Every single time Nikki has had an album come out, she's used controversy to sell that album, and it's nothing wrong with it. But to come after people, like I don't think that Cardi ever wanted an issue with Nikki. Just like Lotto, I watched Lotto on whatever with the rap game, how much she loved Nikki. She was a fan of Nikki. She wanted to support and be. And then Nikki started throwing her shade and talking about, how Lil Wayne shouldn't have did a song with her. How you do a song with that little girl and this. It's just throwing backhanded shade at somebody who genuinely had been a
Exactly.
fan and was supporting you. She's always used controversy in order to sell any music she has. So you can't convince me that she hasn't. I've seen it.
And every time she gets into it with somebody, it's always you don't write your music. She did the same thing to Lotto.
Always.
And we've seen Lotto right on TV. You can't tell me that girl don't rap.
That's what she uses to try to discredit people, and it's like her fans just run with it. So you mean to tell me Nicki Minaj is the only person in the whole of the female rap industry who knows how to write, who writes their music? Like to hear her tell it, she's the only person with talent, the only person who deserves success. Like she's just like the alpha and the omega of female rap. That's crazy to me. Every single time, everybody she gets into it with, that's what she uses to try to discredit them.
And notice the people that she befriend, in the industry as far as women, um, they're way under her, like way under her, way under her. So she feels like, that'll be. And mind you, there was a point in time, minus Trina, there was a point in time where, what I'm saying, she wasn't doing anything with any females, any female rappers. Then it was called out, and then she's like, okay, let me kind of pick a few to do. Yeah, let me
Because
pick a few.
she didn't want an era like this to happen. Nikki was thriving because she was the
Hmm.
only one. Now that there's so many other people, you can really tell. I don't care if she's the most successful, she's the highest selling, whatever, she has the biggest fan base, but she is not the most talented. You're hearing all these new girls coming out, and you're like, whoa, like there's some serious talent out here. They just don't get the recognition because they're not as famous as her. She's had years to develop a fan base and to grow this big, and they don't have that. But y'all cannot honestly tell me of all the new girls and all the variety you're hearing now, you still believe that Nicki Minaj is the best rapper out here.
And let me wake this up real quick. Let me wake this up. So I really don't understand the Lotto and Nikki beef because Lotto only stated the obvious, but on that phone call, Nikki was like, "You want me to give you a list of girls who was in the industry with me at the time?" Da 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 da. Nikki, what are you talking about? Like, why? But this is why I feel like she needed something, anything, to hate on Lotto and make her fan base like not like Lotto. This is why I feel like that because I really honestly feel in her heart that she's like, this girl's getting too big. She's getting too big. I don't like that. She's getting too big. I
Yes.
don't like that. And because Lotto just stated the obvious. Everybody knows that. Everybody, all us regular people know that. People in the industry knows that. That is a fact. It was only Nikki. Yeah, it was a couple of girls here and there, but nobody stuck. She's the only person that constantly stuck. And it was a good time for her because Kim was dying out. She was taking her swag. You know what I'm saying? Remy went to prison. It was a good time for her. But your era and your reign is over. It's over. Like
Nikki
you
knew
still gonna have
exactly.
it. It's
Nikki knew
over.
exactly what Lotto meant. She just wanted to gaslight.
Yes. She just wanted to gaslight. Come on. And it was so unnecessary. And then Lotto hit her in the DMs, and then Nikki brings it to she wanted it. She wanted the smoke. She wanted the smoke. She wanted the world to know I'm not messing with her because she's getting too big. She's getting too big. The same thing with Meg. You know what I'm saying? Meg did a song with her. Now I will say, if I was Nikki, I'd stop speaking to Meg too, because she really is a social climber. Meg, you can't be on this girl live talking about yeah, because we right, and then in the next breath do a song with Cardi because you're making it sound like you making it sound like I'm Team Nikki 100% when you making little shady comments like that. But
And
look how much
that's probably the only reason that Nikki worked with her because Nikki felt like, okay, she's team me. The same thing
right,
with Lato
right.
because it's like Lato has always been like in between. She's never
She's been
taken a
neutral,
side.
right,
And I feel like that is why Nikki didn't do that when Lato was trying to get her on a song. Nikki didn't want to do it because she probably felt like she wanted Lato firmly on her side to have her
right.
take her side before she gives her that feature, and Lato wouldn't do it. But she gave Megan the feature because Megan did, and then Megan turned around and basically stabbed her in the back and worked to Cardi B. So yeah, you really can't blame her for hating Megan for that because Megan
Right,
kind of used her.
right. I agree.
But at the same time, it's like, at what point do you just move on with your life?
She been talking about people being her sons forever. What's in the heart comes out the mouth. This woman wants to be known as the number one, and a lot of women, a lot of people, even in the industry, outside the industry, nobody's going to deny this woman's talent. You're talented, right? But if you had the personality of Cardi B, like a Cardi B, you would be past Beyonce. You will be past Beyonce. But your interior is so dirty. Your interior is so wicked. Like why? Why? Like she don't have the mentality like everybody can eat. I'm out here. My spot is solidified. Everybody can eat. Cardi got that mentality. Everybody can eat. I don't care who. You know what I mean? Yeah, I want to be number one on the charts or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I can't make it every time. Yeah, I'm proud of you. You made it this time. Cardi has that mentality. She wants to be number one. Because how you going in on Baby Stormy? How you going in on Baby Stormy because Travis did what? Come on, man.
And you
Come
know what?
on.
What boggles my mind is that she has used this, you don't write, you have no talent, your industry plans, blah, 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 against Cardi B, but then turns around and supports Ice Spice. And it's like, Ice Spice
Ooh.
is so basic to me. It's like the music she makes, it's a bunch of ABC raps. I just don't understand it. So how can you say Cardi B has no talent, but then you turn around and endorse Ice Spice and crown her this princess of rap? At this point, it seems to me like this princess of rap title and to be accepted as, you know, a legitimate rapper, you just have to kiss Nicki's ass. It does not have anything to do with talent.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. And you got to hate who she hates. You got to hate who she hates. Word. That's not cool.
Everything that they say Cardi B is Ice Spice, and they love Ice Spice.
I don't get it. I don't. I can't get into her music, especially Sexy Red. I saw this video on YouTube where this guy was walking up to different people, just different people, like a campus or something, and they was like, "What song are you listening to right?" They was like, "Such and such by Sexy Red." Went to another person. What you listen to? Ski by Sexy Red. I'm like, first of all, they was naming songs I never even heard of, but then again, I don't listen to her. All right, her music is repulsive. I don't know. I don't know how y'all could do it. I don't know how y'all could do it. Her music is repulsive, bro.
And
It
it's
really
another
is.
double standard because they dragged Cardi B for WAP. They said it was too vulgar, blah, blah, blah. But everybody's screaming, what, my booty hole brown? Like, what the hell? It's craziness.
Yeah, I
It's
can't.
a double
Mm-mm.
standard. So it tells me it has nothing to do with Cardi B and her talent or anything like that. It's just she did not kiss Nicki's ass, so she's not going to be accepted. We're not going to support her. Nicki runs female rap like it's a mafia. Like she owns it. She gets to approve who comes in.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, I think her fans, her cult loves her, but I think people inside the industry, I really think that, I mean, she's not respected amongst her peers. I don't. I really don't.
And just one more point I want to make is that all this stuff going on with her husband and this lawsuit with the rape victim and all of that is crazy to me that this woman still has such a standing like in society in the industry with all of that like nasty stuff attached to her name. Y'all know damn well if that was Cardi B, it would have been something else. She would have been cancelled. But it's Nicki, and Nicki has all this like nasty, heavy stuff attached to her name, and people are defending it. Her fans, I have never seen people defend a rapist so hard in my life. To me, like, rape is something that is so like so unacceptable,
Right.
and these people try to make it's no big deal because it's Nicki Minaj. That is crazy to me.
Mm.
There are still brands that are rushing to work with her because all they care about is she has this large fan base. She could get them to buy stuff. All they care about is numbers and money. They don't care about what they're promoting. So even though she has all this attached to her, they're still running to work with her. They're still running to give her endorsements and stuff. And it's like what is it about this woman that people just refuse to see the obvious, like the evil, like disgusting things that she has been doing?
I really think that it's just her influence. They know that her fan base is a cult, and whatever she say, they're gonna run and go by it. So I really think that they know she nasty. As far as but business wise, they're like, oh yeah, we want her on our side. I don't know why. I don't know why, but let me tell you, this is what I predict. I predict that somebody out there is gonna get tired of Nicki, and somebody is going to record her saying some stuff. Record her saying some stuff that is going to blow up her spot. That's what I predict. I really do. I predict that because you can't be nasty forever, and everything in the dark will come to the light. She swears up and down like no, that ain't me, that ain't me. And her fan base is just like, oh, that can't be Nicki. She's so nice, she's so sweet. They ain't believe Remy Ma, they don't believe Cardi, they don't believe nobody. But there's gonna be a recording. There might be a recording from somebody who's really close to her that she turned on, and they're gonna play that recording. Okay, all right, all
I
right.
I just I feel
And she
sorry.
better let me wake this up too. Let me wake this up. And she better hope and pray that whoever got that video or that thing of her taking that line, a Coca-Cola, don't come out, okay? She better hope and pray. All right, that's all I gotta
But
say.
would people even care? Because they would see that video and
You're
her fans
right.
are just going to
You're
be like,
right.
oh,
You're
well,
right.
everybody does it.
You're
So
absolutely right.
they won't care.
You're right. You're
Anyway,
right.
Trouble has been up here for a while waiting patiently. Trouble.
Okay.
I like I said, I didn't have anything else to add. Just I want music to not be toxic. Everybody is just so chart obsessed, and it that's not any fun. It ain't not a number one song on the charts that I could shake my tail to. I don't. That's not what music is should be about. It should be something else. And that lady, because she focuses on the charts simply because Cardi was able to get number ones off of organic music and just movement from the general public. Now everything has to be a top 10 or number one or it's trash. And I absolutely hate it. It's toxic and I wish it could go away.
Well, y'all, I am going to get off here. It's been 2.5 hours. But we will monitor what happens going forward. And y'all know me, I'll just pop up for a random live every once in a while.
All right, Camille. Thank you for coming on tonight. We missed you.
I'm sorry I disappointed you with that documentary and stuff.
Yeah, Camille, you just pop in whenever you feel like it.
I still have faith in you, Camille. I really still think it could go down. I do. I do. And if anybody's listening got any clips that she's talking about, maybe I could just pass it to her. I think if enough people pass you clips, you might be like, oh, well, I got 98% of it. They out here.
Like been talking crazy for years. There's plenty of clips. They just not on her.
Plenty of clips.
There's a lot. It's a lot. It's only when I started like going back doing the research and stuff, I realized, whoa, this is a huge project to take on.
Yeah, I still got faith. You saying no now. You might say yes next year. And who knows? Something might happen. But you might be like, okay, I'm going to do it now.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it can't happen because remember, I told you all I would commit to doing the first part within 2 weeks. That's not happening. That's not happening.
I understand. I understand. Well, Camille, is always a pleasure. Please pop up more often. Please pop up more often. I don't think you pop up often enough. You be in the bushes a lot.
I know. I got kind of, when I used to be on here before regularly, the hate got to me. So I can see where it frustrates Cardi B because I'm just a little YouTuber and the hate got to me. Like people who were just mean and nasty. I attracted some kind of characters. People were doxing me and shit. And
oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, you didn't know that whole thing that went down. Oh, I don't know if you all know. I worked as a journalist for 10 years.
I knew
not
that.
anymore. I quit. I moved
Oh my
on and I
gosh.
went into a different field. So I can comfortably talk about this now that when I was a journalist, while I was on YouTube, that was in the height of the pandemic. So in my country, they had started these like daily coronavirus updates. Like the Ministry of Health had these live conferences to give updates on the virus and what they were doing and stuff like that. And I was one of those reporters assigned to cover those live conferences. And in one of them, like I was live on the thing. It's broadcasting live on TV. And there were people in the comments, like on the stream, bringing up all this YouTube stuff. They actually found where I worked.
No.
And they went to the stream in this thing going live, and they were using like unicorn comments and stuff. And at that point, I
Oh
realized,
my
you know what?
God.
This thing is spilling over into my real professional life. I'm done, and that's why I quit YouTube. But I no longer work as a journalist. I'm in communications now. Um, have no
Oh,
I have
Camille.
zero experience in communications, but that's what my degree is in. So I decided, you know what, let me put that to use. So I went out and I got a job in that field, and that's what I'm doing now. So yeah. I will never be sharing where I work on here. I don't even have a LinkedIn or anything anymore because these people are crazy.
Oh my gosh, Camille.
That's what I was dealing with. And that is what I that's why I decided, you know what? I'm done with YouTube. People are
Which
crazy
is a
out here.
shame because I used to love your lives. I used to love when you made videos. Whatever I was watching, I would be like, "Up, Camille made a video." It's just something. It's just something about your commentary that you hit all the points, Camille. You hit all the points. That is definitely a talent. It just is. It's a gift. It's a gift. The
I
way you
don't
do the
know.
research and
Maybe it's the journalist in me. Like I have a thing for research. Like I just like to
mhm.
read up stuff and get in depth. And that is another thing why I refuse to do a half-assed documentary. I need it to be properly researched and well put together. So that's just me.
Well, your
Wow.
documentaries be well researched and well put together, so we miss them on YouTube.
Yes. Yes. I don't even mind if you do the documentary and put it behind a paywall. I'll pay.
Yeah,
I would pay.
a Patreon or something.
Yep, I'd pay. I
I
would
will
pay.
do that, but I'm just saying it's going to take time. It's I'm not going to stress myself out daily spending hours doing it. I'm going to do it slowly on my own time, and when it comes, it comes.
And it's really not over.
Exactly. It's still going on,
It's really
so
not
it
over.
will I don't
So,
think it will ever be old because as long as this part of Cardi B trying to collect her money is still going on, it will always be current.
that's crazy.
But yeah.
I did not know that, Camille. Mm.
Y'all, I'm going. I've been on here long enough.
Okay.
So
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a
you
good night.
too. Bye y'all.
Bye.